G'day everyone, welcome to this week's video. One of the most pleasing aspects of landscape photography on YouTube lately has been the amount of Australian vloggers uploading their content to YouTube. More and more people are getting out each weekend and capturing this beautiful country and putting their content and their pictures on YouTube, and it's really great to see. One such photographer, Brian Smith from Sydney, is a fantastic events, weddings and landscape photographer. I reached out to Brian a couple of weeks ago and asked him if he'd like to do a shoot together, and he jumped at the chance. We got together last Sunday morning and we went down to Girrakool Waterfall where we shot some waterfalls together. The following vlog documents that day at Girrakool. At the end of this video there's a short one-on-one interview with Brian. I think you'll find he's a fantastic landscape photographer, but he's also a genuine nice guy. Hope you enjoy the video.
Be something here, mate. I could definitely hear a waterfall. Good morning guys, welcome to this week's vlog. This is turning out to be an epic before it even started. I'm here with fellow YouTube photographer Brian Smith. If you haven't seen Brian's channel before, then check him out. He's got some really fantastic images and a great channel. But we're here this morning and we're elsh bashing, trying to find our way through to this waterfall. Whether we get there or not, I don't know. Well, whew. What do you think, mate?
Come to the Central Coast, he said it's going to be epic, and it is.
Okay, so we push on.
Let's push on.
It's got to be close. We can hear water.
Yeah, quite a bit of water there.
And I can see a track, so finally I think we're getting closer to our destination. So we've found a set of falls, but it's not the falls we're actually searching for. The reason we're pushing our way through the bush at the moment is that the park's closed to the public, so we thought we'd come down here and try and push our way through, and to no avail. We've got a dead end, so now it looks like we've got to backtrack and try and find the falls we are actually after. Tracking across where we just come from and trying to find our way out of the bush here. The things you do just to shoot a waterfall. How much fun could you have on a Sunday morning?
It's the best.
After trudging through the bush, because the gate was closed, we've made our way back to the road, and wouldn't you know it, gate's open, we can drive in now. Never let it be said that we didn't try. We'll get down there.
I'm not sure if he's in or out now.
I'm just thinking,
Got me.
that was certainly leech heaven down in there, so
yeah.
If you didn't have a leech on you, it must be that good Scottish blood they love. With the national park now open, we were able to leave this debacle behind us. We parked, paid our fees and made our way through to the original waterfall we'd planned to shoot. We finally have arrived at our destination, and Brian and I have actually slugged it out all morning to get here. We've been covered in leeches and doing some bush bashing. After our first location we were going to had no water at all, so it was a quick plan B to come across here and shoot this delicate little waterfall here in Girrakool National Park. So we're going to get our cameras set up now, look around for some compositions and try and get some shots before the light gets a little bit too harsh. So I shot framed up this morning, and what I'm doing is I'm going with about a third to a half a second shutter speed to try and get some motion blur in the water. And I'm using the canopy of the tree, and this tree coming from the right hand side of the frame to try and frame the waterfall. We've got this beautiful pool in front of us here. I've got the circular polarizer on, I'm just using it, doing a little bit of polarization but not too much, but so far the image is coming out quite nicely. Framed up my second shot of the morning and I'm going for vertical composition, and currently I'm on about f9 and about a third of a second shutter speed to try and get that motion blur. I picked out this small fern that's just in the foreground. I think it'll really lead the viewer's eye into the shot. And then we've got this beautiful tree that's arching across the top of the waterfall. It's actually framing the shot quite nicely. I'll probably take a different exposure with a faster shutter speed, just in case I get any motion blur and the ferns in the foreground. But so far we're having a great morning here with Brian from Click Photography. If you haven't checked out his channel, as I said, I'll leave a link down below to his channel. Go across and check out his channel and subscribe to it if you can. He does some fantastic work. I'm really envious of a lot of his shots. So he was kind enough to come up and do a shoot with me this morning. So far we're having a great morning, mate.
I'm having a great morning. I'm already learning a lot of stuff from the master, so a good one.
I've come around the waterhole and I've come up close to the falls. And what I've got now is a vertical composition, and I'm using the canopy to a tree and this underlying beautiful tree in the foreground to frame the shot. I've got the waterfall in the background with those beautiful ferns and that beautiful orange lichen that's growing out of the rock. And the contrast between the colours between the orange and black and the green is really outstanding. The composition I'm going for, I'll just give you a quick look at it, is that there. I've got this tree down here in the foreground, the canopy in the frame. Currently I'm sitting on F10 at about 1.6 second shutter speed, so we'll try that shot and see how we go. Coming here today, it was about getting out and coming to this location again. And although I've shot here many times before, it's just nice to come back and bring Brian here today and share this beautiful little waterfall with him. One of the main reasons I wanted to come back is I've shot here before, but today was about looking for different compositions, and I think I've found quite a few different compositions. I think it's important to keep trying to push ourselves and don't just get the standard shot when you go to any of these big locations that everyone else gets. Try and look for new and interesting compositions, and I think I've found a really nice one here. What I've got is I've got a vertical composition in front of me, and then I've got the frame of the tree both ways like this beautiful green mossy tree limb coming out in the foreground. But what I've actually done is I've framed the falls in the middle there, right between these two limbs, and I think it's working really well. Moss on the foreground, the falls in the background in that framing. Let's fire this shot and see how we go. Come out into the middle of the pool now, and I'm shooting it at 11, and currently I've got about a 1 second shutter speed, and I've framed up the entire falls. You can see on my camera there the composition I'm going for. I've got that tree on the left hand side that's arching across and framing in this beautiful fall. I've come down further into the pool and moved way forward now, and I've actually got no obstruction in front of me from any of the trees or anything like that. I'm going for a vertical composition. I've got this small rock in the foreground here, again creating that little bit of foreground interest, leading the eye into the shot and leading up into this beautiful falls. Currently again I'm sitting at about F10 and I'm about a third of a second shutter speed. It's helping me to keep that detail in the water, and the circular polarizer is just really accentuating those beautiful colours. One more shot in the bag and then I think we're done here. Well guys, that ends a great morning here at Girrakool Falls with Brian Smith. I just really want to thank Brian for coming up today and doing a shoot with me. We've had a fantastic morning. We had a few hits and misses to find our locations and to actually get in here. A few adventures that we'll probably remember for a long time, but if you haven't seen Brian's channel, I'll leave a link down below. Go across and check him out. Subscribe to his channel. He's got some fantastic vlogs and even better images. Brian's a Sony shooter. Brian, just a couple of questions. How did you actually get into photography, or what was your main interest in getting into photography?
Goodness, it's been a long time. I've been shooting probably about 30 years. So I was born in Scotland, of course.
Yep.
So I first picked up a camera, an old film camera. I still have it. 30 years ago back in Scotland. I've just always been fascinated by it.
Yeah.
And even today, I still watch YouTube channels. I'm still learning every day. I'm still, I do a lot of event work and stage work, and obviously landscapes become a bit of a passion for me.
Yeah.
As I said, I still learn something new.
We all learn every day, don't we?
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with your landscape photography channel on YouTube, if you can just let some of my subscribers know, basically you shoot around Sydney, right up and down the coast. Obviously you've been to a lot of locations that I haven't even been to. Luckily enough, I was able to bring you to one you haven't been to this morning.
Right.
But what's your channel basically about?
So, as you said, it's all about discovering new places, and creating memories. So, the last year we've been in a global pandemic, of course, and but it's meant the last year I've been able to discover a lot more of my own backyard, and some of the places I've discovered, and a lot of it's on the channel now. It has just been amazing to see.
We really are fortunate. We've got so much within that radius of where we live.
Yeah.
We really are a fortunate country for sure. Anyone that actually inspires you in your photography, anyone you look up to or you really admire in your landscape photography?
Yeah, look, I guess when I talked earlier just about some of the YouTube channels and things I follow, I mean, if I had some to pass on, there are some of the obvious ones like Thomas Heaton and Gavin Hardcastle and Adam Gibbs in Canada. There, Adam does some amazing shots. Yeah, he really does. Yeah. All three of them do, and Nick Page, of course. That completes the foursome, of course.
Yeah, I think Nick Page would be one of my favourites for sure,
really
along with the other four that you've mentioned as well.
Yeah.
What about locations? What would be your favourite locations you've shot so far?
That's a tough one. Yeah, that's a tough one. I do a lot of sunrises, so I do a lot of beach type work. It's up and down the beaches, anywhere around Sydney, Central Coast, down south. Yeah. Love a good waterfall. So today I was really in my element today. So big thanks to
that was it was a good morning
to bring us here today. I've shot. Internationally, there's some incredible places I've shot. Guilin in China, with these incredible mountains that seem to rise. It's a little bit like Avatar. You saw those floating mountains in the movie Avatar. Guilin's a little bit like that. It's just incredible. I shot. I did a trip to Egypt and did some work around the pyramids and so different places for different things. Yeah, it brings back memories.
Anywhere that's on your bucket list that COVID permitting that you'd. If you can travel again, that you'd really like to get to and shoot?
Interestingly, when the whole pandemic started back in March, I was in Scotland and had a 2-week trip planned to shoot all the locations around Scotland. I was there for 2 days, had to fly back. So Scotland, coincidentally, ironically, is probably one of the highest on my list. Scotland, Norway. But
we'll be able to do it together because I have to get back to Scotland to see my relatives. So
we'll
do a vlog together from Scotland maybe. Look, that's it for this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed the video and the images at the end. I just want to say thank you, Brian. Great to catch up with you. Thanks for coming up this morning. That's all there is for this week, guys. You know what to do. If you enjoyed the video, go down below, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to either Brian or myself on YouTube, and hopefully I'll see you again next time.